I want to get your insight as, the movie expert, the entertainment guy. Um, it looks like movies are around the corner, and obviously what this means for the queue. You had I'm pretty sure Disney as well as Universal put out their kind of movie list for the next year, right? 2021. Are you surprised? Are you excited? Give me like the full thoughts. Obviously, this year was pretty dry with COVID, so next year's looking extremely good. A lot of basically 2 years of movies condensed into one. What's your thoughts? Are you seeing some of
Well,
that stuff come back?
well, I mean, the huge news, of the last couple of weeks was when Warner Brothers announced that 2021 they were putting all their films out on what is known in the film business as PVOD, Premium Video on Demand. What that means is you're going to pay $20 to get the movie instead of $5.95 or whatever. Um, and the that's going to become a big thing. There's no doubt about it. That's been something that's been out there forever. I mean, people have been talking about this. I'm not exaggerating, for 20 years, and about the concept of why can't I watch the movie at home and just pay a premium price for it? If you think about it, it's a hell of a lot cheaper than going to the theater. If a movie ticket now is, just make the math simple, call it an average of $10, and they're going to sell the movie for your family at $20. And if you're a family, you don't have to hire a babysitter. You can make your own popcorn. You don't have to pay $3 for a soda, all the rest of it. So if a family movie night becomes $100 night, to make it a $20 night is pretty friggin' enticing. And
Yeah.
so I think it's a trend that's going to change. It's kind of like, when hijacking planes became a big deal, suddenly security gates at airports happened and we've never gone back. I think work from home is here to stay in a big way, not forever, but for everyone, but a huge percentage of people will work from home. And I think a huge percentage of people will no longer go to movie theaters with any kind of regularity like they used to. It'll be a once or twice a year kind of event thing.
Yeah. No, it'd be yeah, I agree with you. And it's I look at it from the entertainment business. Obviously got crushed during COVID. Looks like it's coming back. I know you talk about your influencer business all the time. Is there anything you wanted to say about that and what you feel
Well,
and how it's going to do in the coming year?
yeah, I mean, I think the really good news for us is we did successfully pivot that business from a business that was 100% essentially reliant upon major motion picture releases to movie theaters. That's what we did. A movie was coming out from a studio. We did an influencer campaign to get butts in seats in the movie theater that first weekend, and that's now changed for us in terms of what we're doing. So we've just we've just finished a campaign for Crudes 2, and for Universal. And that was originally for the limited theatrical release. They actually put it in movie theaters over US Thanksgiving. And then it just launched Friday. I haven't seen the results yet, but it launched Friday on PVOD, on Premium VOD. And then later, and I think early February, it comes out on home video where you can buy it, permanently. So and we've been promoting that, very much the same promotion that we would have done if it was going into movie theaters, using TikTok and influencers and all the rest of it, doing duet dances and all the things that we would have done for the movie theater version, but with a real focus on a different distribution model. And so I expect we're going to be doing a hell of a lot of those in 2021.
Yeah. Curious for the people, and I know like influencer marketing is this like magic in a lot of people's eyes. Do you want to give a just behind the scenes current look of really how you guys do influencer marketing? How do you find the influencer, that stuff? Just a
Sure.
one example would be pretty cool, I think, for people listening.
Sure. I mean, influencer marketing is, in a way, it's what we used to call product placement or product endorsement. I mean, in the 80s, it was, just an athlete wearing a pair of tennis shoes. I always use the example because people know James Bond driving an Aston Martin car. I mean, that just didn't happen. That was paid for by Aston Martin to associate James Bond and their cars. And that's exactly what influencer marketing is all about. With that said, you've got sort of mammoth influencer marketers like the Kardashian family and that sort of thing, and then you've got a whole other category that's called now micro influencers, which are people that are very, very targeted communities. As a matter of fact, some of the people that I talk to on these interviews like this would be considered, from my point of view, to be micro influencers. These are people that have a following of several thousand people, but they're dedicated and they listen to what that person has to say. And it could be several thousand to maybe 100,000. Anybody probably under 100,000, I think we would consider a micro influencer. What's also happened is you've got communities, and those communities could be 13 to 15-year-old girls who have exhibited interest in shoes, and it could be 13 to 15-year-old boys who are gamers, or any and everything in between you can imagine. We have a bunch of tools, some proprietary, some off the shelf that we've tweaked, that we use to seek those people out and find them. And then we negotiate with them about how much we're going to pay them to promote whatever the product or movie or whatever it is that we're dealing with. So in the case of Accrueds, we find that the studio says, this is the audience that we think is going to go, we want to go after for this movie. This is the age groups. These are the target people, blah, 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 blah. We find those communities. We do research. We find the right influencers. We help them with the creative that's created for their TikTok or Instagram story or whatever it is they're doing. And then we deliver that, and we have minimum guarantees for fulfillment of views and engagements in exactly the same way that someone does with a commercial campaign. So that's kind of how it works at a high level. And, Glenn Ginsburg, who runs that business for us, is just, I would consider him one of the world experts in doing that. And a big priority for us in 2021 is building that business that's kind of been a fledgling, but growing and nice gross margin business from us, and making that grow a lot more in 2021 and beyond. Yeah. And the final thing I'll say is, Glenn and his team have trained a similar team that we're building and growing in India to do exactly the same thing, both for our own Q content, but also for other brands as well.
Ooh, little teaser there. I like that. I'm curious, do you want to just say the success, that Crude saw, how many impressions or whatever the
oh man, have? I honestly, I probably should have that committed to memory, but I don't know the exact numbers. What I can tell you is that there were over 100 million engagements with the content that we put up over a month-long period. So it was well over 100 million, might be 150 million. We had a one post from a woman named Bella Porch, who's a very big TikTok star. She had last time I checked last week, it was over 36 million views alone of her one posting for Crudes, where she did this duet dance with one of the characters. And we have one of, if not the largest subscribed movie channels for a single movie, for the movie Crudes. I think we've got over 600,000 subscribers to the Crudes movie channel on TikTok right now. It's a huge success.
That's
it's
crazy. That's awesome.
No, and guess huge successes like that, guess what happens? You get more jobs. So we're really optimistic going into 2021 in that business.
Yeah, no, I mean, hey, everything's case studies in that space, which is awesome. So congratulations there. I know we're kind of just wanting to give people a touch point before the holidays. I know some big stuff coming in 2021. We expect a bunch more of these videos, of course, with some exciting news in the first quarter. Anything else you wanted to say, about stuff that's happened, about the entertainment industry, anything in general, before we close things up here?
No, I mean, I think, look, I'm pretty obsessive these days about our two specific businesses, and they keep me busy. I think India, it's going to be kind of a transformative year for us in 2021. I think 12 months from now, we'll have a much bigger business, both in terms of revenue, in terms of reach, in terms of the quality of our content, our dedicated fan base there. I mean, just on and on and on. I just think 2021 is going to be a year where we take it from, a little sort of, it's a great idea that seems to be starting to work, to like, okay, wow, now people actually know who you are, and you're engaging with a lot of people now, and you're monetizing that in a significant fashion. That's what we're going to do throughout the year of 2021. And I'm confident we'll achieve that. On the influencer business, it's what I just said. I think we've got a lot of happy customers. We've pivoted into new areas, and we're going to build and grow that business. And as I also said, also try to let the India influencer business draft off of that success a little bit and grow accordingly. The final thing is I think, look, this is a year that none of us will ever forget in our lifetimes. No one's ever seen anything like this. No living person has been through this before. And so I think obviously we're on the road. It appears to a vaccine, you know, with or without rogue viruses in the UK or whatever. You know, we seem to be moving in a more in a more optimistic direction. I do think that's going to take another 3 or 4 months, maybe more, maybe 6 months. But I think 2021 is going to be I would think at the long term, 4 to 6 months, we'll kind of be out of this overhang of this. And so I'm super optimistic about 2021, both for QU Media, QU India, Q Influencer, and for the world in general. So it's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's
No,
why I'm
hey,
going to Hawaii on Wednesday.
there you go. You gotta get that out there. No, hey, that's awesome. That's a great update. Enjoy Hawaii. Enjoy Christmas in Hawaii. I know.
Yeah,
Hey,
let's hope my COVID test comes back negative.
well, I'm sure if we see a little bit of a sunburn and everything, we'll all know that of course you went. But we'll do a chat in the new year. Kurt, thanks so much for joining.
But
This was a great
by the way, I
update.
was just scheduling today a call with India on my Hawaii Christmas Eve. I was like, this is nuts, man. Come on. Uh,
Hey,
so,
work
uh,
doesn't
so
stop.
the work will not stop. Just so
Yeah.
all the shareholders can know, the work never stops. It's 24/7.
Oh, awesome, awesome. Well, Kurt, thanks so much for joining. Happy holidays. Enjoy
Happy
Hawaii.
holidays to you,
You know,
Jason.
perfect. All right. Well, we'll close things
Okay,
up.
thanks
Thanks so much.
everyone. Thank you.